guys, the Curious Owl here, and today is the first day of the Biannual Bibliothon for summer 2018, and I cannot even begin to explain how excited I am for this readathon. I enjoyed doing the winter run earlier this year so much. I had such a great time, and I really wanted to be able to do this again because I loved the challenges, I loved all the reading I did, and with it being summer, it's a little bit easier for me to do more reading because I'm not completely hampered with school and everything. So I'm just really excited to be able to do another run of this. And so for the first day of the Biannual Bibliothon, the challenge is to do a kind of character recommends video. I was going to do a more character actual based one by dressing up and everything, but as you guys can tell, my hair is now much shorter than it normally is. I got it cut a couple days ago right before my 21st birthday, which was yesterday, July 8th, as I'm recording this video basically, so I really can't do that because I don't have a wig to do this character. But what I will do is I will basically recommend some poetry based off of this character and what she likes and what I believe she would like as well. So the character I have picked is none other than Lena Duchannes from the Beautiful Creatures series by Kami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. I love this series so much, and I'm currently going through a reread of the series. I will be reading Beautiful Redemption later this month after the Biannual Bibliothon to complete the main 4 books in the series, and then reading the subsequent novellas and spin-off novels and also the prequel novellas that are involved with this world. So Lena is a bit of a dark individual. She is what's known as a caster, and her family is mostly comprised of what are called dark casters, or are kind of more on the evil side of things. Not all of them are completely evil, but there are some that really turn evil because they're dark and they really just have a lot of hatred for non-casters and things of that nature. Lena, though, is very different from that. She's dark in the sense that she enjoys the dark elements of life, and that includes some very dark poetry. The first one that she really enjoys that is mentioned a lot in the Beautiful Creatures series is Robert Frost. Robert Frost is one of those poets where I've heard so much about him, but I haven't read a lot of his poetry. Poetry is not something that I'm usually as invested in, but I've been getting better with it since taking a poetry class a couple semesters ago, and I really enjoy it. And Robert Frost has started to become one of my more favorites as I've read more of his poetry. And not all of his poems are dark, but there's a lot about his poems that are very lyrical. It doesn't surprise me that Lena would really enjoy him because she likes to write very lyrical stuff and really enjoys a lot of the imagery that Robert Frost creates and puts it into her own poetry. I think he is the one that I think is more so her muse than anything else because it's mentioned so often in the Beautiful Creatures series. Another poet that I think she would really enjoy is Sylvia Plath. Now, I don't think she has mentioned in the books as of yet her interest with Sylvia Plath, but Sylvia Plath is a very heavy poet and it's for very troubled individuals basically, because Sylvia Plath, if you guys don't know, I think she had depression and anxiety, or no, or maybe bipolar. I'm not quite sure, honestly. It's been a while since I looked up anything by her. But I do know that a lot of her poems focused on her divorce with her husband and kind of feeling kind of distanced from the world, especially after she had kids. Sylvia Plath is one of those authors where a lot of her poetry focuses on pain and loss, and I think that Lena, especially in her darkest moments, would be drawn to Sylvia Plath because in Beautiful Darkness, the second book of the Beautiful Creatures series, she goes very dark, and so I would not be surprised if a lot of her poetry reading then was Sylvia Plath based, because Sylvia Plath is one of those authors where you read her at a very dark moment in your life, and she kind of almost makes you feel better because you're kind of commiserating with her pain. Another poet that I believe Lena would really love is Emily Dickinson, because Emily Dickinson is one of my favorite poets, and that's because she's able to write very short poems with very impactful messages. And I think that a lot of what Lena has written over the course of this series is very much in the same vein as Emily Dickinson, where her poems are typically fairly short, but they pack a really big punch, and a lot of the times you're able to get what the poem is talking about right away because you're involved with the context of the story, and so you're involved with her context of thinking and feelings basically. And so I really think that Emily Dickinson would also be another one where she would kind of be drawn to because of the way that she writes and the way that her poems are incredibly short but really really stick with you. Those are honestly the only poets that come to mind that I think Lena would really, really enjoy because, like I said, I don't really delve into poetry too often, but it is something I'm looking to get into. So if you guys have any poets that you think are really, really good, whether they're older or they're more contemporary, I would really love to know because I've been working on a poetry book myself for a good while, but the problem is I feel like I don't have enough knowledge with poetry to really write it because my poems basically come from just words that are spilling from my head, and I feel like I need to research some more kind of poetry to really figure out what it is my style is when it comes to poetry itself. So if you guys have any suggestions for me in terms of poems or poets that you really enjoy, old, contemporary, I really don't care, please let me know down in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. If you guys did enjoy it, please do give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!